Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to this week's horoscope. Now, I am on a very brief sabbatical for just a few weeks, and I've asked a friend to fill in for me for the horoscope this week, and I hope that you will give them a warm welcome. Now, superstar horoscopes were pre-recorded, and you can get all signs, extended horoscopes for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate. Now, if even $3 feels like a hardship, use the contact form on my website. Links are in the description below, and my team will make sure that you are hooked up while I am away. SynchronicityUniversity.com, that is the place where we are having incredible upcoming programs that right now are Choose Your Tuition rate, as low as just $5 a class. You can see these superstar astrologers are coming to Synchronicity University. I'm so excited to learn from them. And incredible classes are happening right now as well at SynchronicityUniversity.com. Links are in the description below. And thank you. Thank you for your patience, your grace, your trust, all of it. I look forward to seeing you guys again real soon. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.
Hi there, everyone. Namaste. My name is Jill Loftis of Nuit Astrology, and I am so honored to be a guest here this week for Nadiya. I'm offering you the weekly forecast for September 4th through the 10th, 2022. Now, this is an interesting astrology week. We're, interesting times, right? The three major events for this week that I'm really looking at is the shift of Venus into Virgo, right? Distinct vibe shift, right? Venus moving into the sign of Virgo, right? From Leo to Virgo. All of a sudden, we've got this much more analytical, this much more mental, this much more, sometimes critical view of the goddess, right? And so really noticing that shift is important just so that you can feel into the vibe and not get caught up in any of the shadow that can happen with Venus and Virgo. It's not her best look. So watching the shadow of potentially being so critical, particularly with yourself, right? I mean, often we turn that critical eye, that Virgo eye towards ourselves. Being cautious about any type of martyrdom when it comes to love, and focus instead on healing and helping, which are just some of the most beautiful virtues of Virgo energy. Now, we're also going to be watching out for Mercury retrograding in the sign of Libra. And this retrograde begins on Thursday, and I believe it's at, let me double check the degrees here. Yeah, it's at 8 degrees of Libra, right? And so it's going to back up, beep, 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 go all the way back to 24 degrees in the sign of Virgo, station direct on October 2nd, and not get back past this degree of Libra until mid-October, right? So as you kind of feel into the beginning of the week, you may already start to notice some of that gear jamming, some of that classic Mercury mischief that happens. I almost said Mercury magic, but it is kind of magical, right? It's a time to renew, redo, rethink, repair. So understand where that little sector is in your chart so that you can be prepared. And also it's not the best time to buy electronics. It's not the best time, to just assume that they got that email or just assume that they understood that text. We all know texting is like one of the most imperfect methods of communication, yet we rely on it so much. So, watch out for that Virgo energy. Then we have just a beautiful full moon on Saturday. Pisces full moon. It's at 17 degrees, 5:59 a.m. on the 10th. It's just a deeply inspired full moon with some beautiful aspects to the outer planets. And so a really powerful week coming together. So let's dig into each day together. Now let's start with Sunday the 4th. Sunday the 4th, we start with a little tricky energy. The moon is in Sagittarius, right? Let's go. The moon is in Sag, but it squares Neptune in Pisces. All right. So that can be a little bit of excess. It can, you got to slow it down. You got to not go too big or too hard. And the other thing is that as we go through that, not only is it's going to square the Neptune and Pisces, the very next day it's going to square Jupiter, right? And so if you got confused, weren't sure, did something too much, too hard, too fast, and then you've got the amplification of the Jupiter, the troubles could really accelerate or kind of blow up. So slow it down a little bit as we begin the week, right? Be optimistic, right? Moon and Sag, right? But not delusional, right? Slow it down so that you can see things clearly. Now on Monday, September 5th, we have our Venus vibe change. Venus moves into the sign of Virgo. So understanding where Virgo is in your chart is critical to understand how you're going to be really feeling energized, feeling like you want to pour love and blessings and energy and resources into that area of life, right? Now the moon is going to go into Capricorn. It's going to square the Jupiter, like I mentioned, Sunday square to the Neptune, Monday square to the Jupiter. All right. And then it's also going to square Mercury. So with the Libra and Aries chart, area of the chart getting pressured with this square, there might be a lot of conversations about relationships or individuality or how you want to maintain your uniqueness within a partnership or collaboration in some way. So remember that Mercury's getting ready to retrograde. So, slow it down, be sweet. Make sure you have all the information. You might not, okay? But you might also become clear to you where you need to make some changes in those relationships as well. Now, Tuesday is the huge outer planet day, I'm calling it, because you have a bunch of beautiful energy. We've got the moon in Capricorn, trining Uranus and Taurus, sextiling Neptune and Pisces, and then conjuncting Pluto and Capricorn, right? Big outer planet day. Now, a lot of those similar aspects are going to occur at the full moon. So this Tuesday, make sure you're journaling. You're kind of seeing these big picture vibes. And it's great for you to know where these slow moving planets are in your particular chart. So be sure to pay attention to the Taurus, to the Pisces, and to the Capricorn areas of your life. How can you harmonize them, right? They are asking to be harmonized. How can you harmonize them? All right. Now, Wednesday, September 7th, the moon in Aquarius sending fabulous little beams of energy over to Jupiter in Aries. So I see that as kind of like a kind of a group energy day, right? Wherever Aquarius is for you, you've got a little bit of luck, a little bit of blessing, right? As long as you don't take it too big. Now, another thing that's going to happen is that it's also going to, the moon is going to trine Mercury in Libra and Mars in Gemini, right? So Aries, Libra, and Gemini, right? Think about how you can bring those three areas of life together. It will be easeful, right? And that's the thing, when the energy is easeful, sometimes we don't do anything. So it might be a great day for you to really like take that inspired energy in the Aquarius area of your chart and really take action in some way, even if it's just symbolic action. Now, Thursday the 8th, moon in Aquarius is going to square over to Uranus and Taurus, and then it's going to touch Saturn. All right, so moon Saturn can always be a little heavy, a little glass half smashed on the floor, not even half full, right? So watch that, especially with the square to Uranus. It could be this kind of desire to break free in some way or accomplish something, and it says, nope, not now. So don't be upset about that. Another thing to pay attention to is that there's a long moon void on this day. And I'm using East Coast time, East Coast of the United States, 8:34 a.m. That aqua moon does not go into Pisces until 12:42 a.m., so after midnight. So that entire day is a moon void day. So think about that. Just because a moon void day just feels a little floaty. It's a fabulous day for meditation. Make some art, make some love, do all these beautiful, like connective, kind of sweet, ethereal kind of things. But signing a contract, probably not the best deal. Analytical thinking, you might have to put on the back burner for another day. All right. Now, Friday we've got Mercury retrograding. We've also got the moon in Pisces opposing Venus in Virgo and squaring Mars in Gemini. All right. Big feels, big words, slow it down, right? Take a breath before you speak. All right. Don't let anger, upset, emotions to get too overwhelming, right? Moon in Pisces can feel very like your aura is kind of merging with your wherever you are and whoever you're around, right? It can feel a little like almost unsafe, right? So do your protective practices. Don't go overboard with things. I mean, I often feel like the best solution to most difficult astrology is just to slow down. Slow down. Slow down your life if you can. Slow down your mind if you can. Slow down your mouth. Absolutely, right? All right. So the Mercury is going to retrograde 11:38 p.m. East Coast time again, 8 degrees of Libra. And so the shadow zone started back around August 20th, right? That was when it first, got to the degree that it will go back to, right, in Virgo, because it's going back all the way up to 24 Virgo. All right. So, and mark on your calendar, it will go direct on the October 2nd. But it's not going to get all the way back to this degree until the 16th, right? So do all your fabulous Mercury retrograde tasks, right? It is a fabulous time for certain things, as I mentioned earlier. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of Mercury retrograde. It is just here to help you get a second chance, right? And many, many things. All right. Now we've got this beautiful full moon. I really dig this full moon. 5:59 a.m., 17 degrees of Pisces. It sextiles Uranus. It's going to conjunct Neptune, and it sextiles Pluto. Beautiful, right? Inspired, artistic. Do something with this beautiful energy. I have a little short forecast for each of you based on your rising sign, right? But it does also impact your sun sign. So stay tuned for that after this weekly forecast. Another thing to pay attention to is if you follow the nodes of the moon, N-O-D-E-S, right? The north node, south node. I follow the true node versus mean node, which is a whole other topic. But the nodes go to 14 degrees, and this is the first time in this particular transit through Taurus and Scorpio that they get to 14 degrees. And this also begins to take it out of the engagement range with Uranus, right? It starts to allow it to have a little space from that Uranian energy, right? It's starting to move on. And remember, the nodes go backwards, right? So it's not going 15, 16, 17. It's going backwards. So it went, 18, 17, 16, 15. Now it's at 14, right? It's starting to pull away. And so there's a little less of that erratic nature. Now, then there'll be a little bit more, instead of Uranus being influenced by that square to Saturn, that was such the pivotal energy of 2021. We had those 3 precise hits of the square from Saturn in Aquarius to Uranus in Taurus. Well, welcome back to that energy. It's about to approach as we get further on this month and into next month. But the node will be pulling away, and so it'll be more just the pure Uranian energies that's experiencing this square from Saturn. So see if you can kind of sense how that is beginning to impact you wherever Taurus and Aquarius are in your chart. Well, thank you for your tremendous patience with my not being Nadiya, but I am so honored again to be here to spend time with you. I do hope you'll stick around for my brief little forecast for each of the signs. And of course, you can join me on my channel anytime. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I'll see you next time. Namaste. Bye. Namaste, Aries. For the week of September 4th, for you, we're going to start out with a little challenge to Jupiter. Now, as you know, Jupiter has been in your sign and is currently retrograding back through, bringing up new lessons that you need to be resolved, renewed, rethought, re-experienced, right? Where you want to expand, how do you want to expand? So we've got a little challenge to that Jupiter in your sign from the Capricorn moon. Now, that may induce some slowdowns, or you may feel that things aren't exactly going your way, but remember that life's delays are not life's denials, and that's an important factor to remember for this week. Now, Mars in Gemini and Mercury in Libra, have like a wide, almost not a perfection of the aspect, but a nice flow of energy, a trine energy. And so this might give you more energy to talk, to think, to express, to write this week. So it's great to take time to do that. And then the full moon in Pisces is in your 12th house. So the 12th house is, I always think of the 8th house and the 12th house as the woo-woo houses, right? The 12th house is the deep subconscious mind. It's the things that can be hidden from us. It can be your latent programming, things that are very much stored out. But it's also the area of life where we either look after ourselves when we make good choices, or we self-defeat. We engage in patterns of conduct that aren't good for us. Now, we all do this, right? This is not unique to you, right? We all have the 12th house energy. But for you, this powerful full moon is occurring in that area of life. And so it's important for you to honor, bless, acknowledge some of these latent patterns, maybe patterns from your lineage, deep subconscious things that you have typically done, and really acknowledge the ones that you want to let go of and cut the cord on those behaviors, cut the cord on those ways of being in the world, and, get out of your own way, right? So powerful full moon for you. Namaste, Taurus. Now, this is an interesting week for you because your star, Venus, is going to change signs, and she's going to move into the sign of Virgo. And she can be a little tough, a little tough to manage in the sign of Virgo, right? She wants things the way she wants them. So watch that you instead turn your focus, instead of trying to overly control or, only want or desire things to be a certain way. See if you can be a little bit more broad in your approach, and do maybe spend some time working on healing energy, helping energy. How do you serve, right? Virgo is very much service oriented. All right. And then you still have the North Node in your sign, right? North Node there with Uranus, kind of electrifying your nervous system. So I hope that you have been and continue to moderate your nervous system by staying grounded, right? Good to do the good, beautiful Tauran things to stay grounded. But there's some really karmic challenges coming up this week. There's a lot of outer planet energy, right? That can be destabilizing when you have Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all getting really activated in your chart. So turn on your synchronicity goggles, right? Look for the magic with Uranus in your sign, because it's there for sure. And with the full moon, looking at a Taurus rising chart, the full moon is going to land in your 11th house of aspirations, of dreams, of hopes, of the friendships that you have in the groups of people you associate with. And so it's time to bless, acknowledge, and let go some of those things that you no longer want to do anymore. There may be achievements or aspirations that you've had maybe all your life. And now you're realizing, wow, I don't want that anymore. That is no longer relevant to me. Perhaps it's time to edit the friendship list a little bit. Not that we want to cut people off, but sometimes, you outgrow certain relationships. And so this is a powerful full moon for you to kind of edit your dreams, your wishes, but also the energy that you pour into certain causes or certain people. All right. Namaste, Gemini. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. Now, this is an interesting week. We've got Mars moving into your sign, right? And so this is going to be a lot of coming into the Gemini nature. And, with that duality, you can really find your energy being fluctuating a little bit more, but you also might find your temper being activated a little bit more. So make sure that you're resonating with the highest vibrational talks or words or thoughts or, things that you really want to happen. Dial back any kind of rhetoric, or if you or fall into any complaining or things like that, you'll be more resonant with people who might be a little bit more caught up in that. And you could really fall into some negative patterns. So be observant of that. Then add on to that, your beautiful Mercury, your sign, right? Your star. Mercury is going to station retrograde in the sign of Libra and back all the way into Virgo. So look at the end of Libra, or I apologize, the very beginning of Libra, end of Virgo. That range in your chart is going to be activated, and you're going to have to rethink, redo, re-examine. Remember that Mercury, when it's retrograde, is a little closer to the Earth, right? It exerts a little bit more power, and that extra power can make it feel a little bit erratic. So make sure that you're moderating your own energy and doing whatever you need to do to stay grounded. All right, now I want you to really look at Monday. Monday could be a little challenging. The moon's going to square Mercury in Libra, so lots of big feels at the beginning of the week. Maybe moderate that, tone it down. And the full moon is going to be in your career house. We've got this Pisces full moon with these outer planet aspects. This can be some really big picture energy for you. And so remember that the 10th house, this career, this soul purpose, it's not necessarily your day job. It's your big legacy project. It's why you incarnated, right? And so at this full moon, it's a great time for you to acknowledge, let go, release anything that's keeping you from fulfilling that mission. Any distractions, just sometimes you have trouble, like, right, there's the fog right there, Neptune's up in that area. It can be unclear which way to move forward. But there are some things that that are you're doing, you're engaged in, they're taking your time, that they gotta go. And this is the moon to let them go. So have a great week. Namaste, Cancer. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. Now, as you know, you are a wild moon child, right? You are ruled by the moon that fluctuates and changes every day, all the time. This is a particularly wild ride of a week for you. So make sure you have a little space in your life to manage all the ups and downs and emotions. There's going to be a lot of outer planet action, especially on Tuesday, and then in that beautiful full moon that we have occurring on Saturday. All right. So, we've got Uranus in Taurus. We've got Neptune in Pisces. We've got Pluto in Capricorn. Those three areas of life really are desiring to be harmonized for you. So if you can look at those and see how you can weave those together, that is part of the lesson of this week. Now, the full moon, it falls in your 9th house, and that is the house that has to do with expanding your mind and expanding your world. So if you teach or want to learn, which teaching is the best way to learn, right? But if there's anything that you would really like to wrap up in that area of life or feel a sense of culmination, right? You may have had some travel bucket list kind of things, and it's time to either make the commitment to do those things or let them go, right? You may have been engaged in a course of study or something, and then now it's like, nope, it's time to take a new direction. I need to resolve that. I need to bless and acknowledge all of that information, right? It may be that you've been teaching or learning a certain thing, and it's time to clear that up, wrap it up, so that you can move on to something new. So it's really important full moon for your 9th house. So take the time this week. Take the time to kind of see what the symbols, especially on Tuesday, what that reveals to you, so that you can really set some wise intentions for that Saturday full moon. Have a great week. All right, namaste, Leos. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. Now, with Venus leaving your sign and moving into the sign of Virgo, you might feel like a little bit of the luster wears off, right? It was like, wait, hey, that was fun. I enjoyed that, right? So that energy is kind of shifting out of your sign. So if you feel a little empty there, make sure that you take advantage of the beautiful sun energy we have this week. So we've got the 6th through the 8th, the sun is going to trine the north node, and pretty close to Uranus too, right? So a little synchronicity, a little magic, definitely be on the lookout for those opportunities that arise, those things that you say, wow, what are the odds, right? When those things happen this week, it's really important for you to take advantage of them and realize that magic is at work in your life. Now, this full moon in Pisces, that's in your woo-woo 8th house, right? This has to do with other people, how you merge with other people, whether you merge finances, whether you merge bodies. It's the house of the deepest depths of who you are. It's the house that relates to death. It relates to the mysteries, the spiritual mysteries. So a marvelous meditation moon for you. Take your time to sit and get the downloads. Take the time to sit down, bless, acknowledge. You may wish to really do some honoring of your ancestors and your lineage at that time. You may wish to think about patterns where you engage in unhealthy behaviors when you merge with other people, where you've not trusted the right people, right? Leos have such good intuition, except when someone flatters you out of it. So, acknowledge those situations and cut the cord on that. No more. You're going to be renewed with this beautiful full moon in your 8th house. Have a great week. Namaste, my Virgo friends. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. Now, we've got a little vibe change happening this week. We saw the sun in your sign, so happy solar return for those of you celebrating this week. But we've also got Venus having moved into your sign, so that really amps the love and beauty. And also, maybe the examination of what it is that you really desire and find worthy of your time and energy. So take the time to kind of feel into how that vibe change affects you, and maybe spend a little bit more time, tending to yourself, particularly in a self-care kind of way versus just a glam way, right? Venus is love, and showing your own self that love and self-respect is such a great way to emphasize having Venus in your sign. Now, we also have another important star happening, changing for you, which means Mercury. Mercury is about to retrograde. And so this happens on Thursday. So you're going to really pay attention to that. It's going to be in Libra, but it's going to back into your sign. So some of the lessons of the last couple weeks, you're going to have to, have a little back it up, review, rethink, re-examine. So when your star is retrograde, it can often cause some complications with the mind, complications with communications. Get your patience on, slow things down a little bit, and really watch that tendency to be so harsh on yourself. Put a little sweetness in there, a little patience for yourself. And as those lessons come up, just be grateful. Have this deep gratitude for oh, here we go again. Oh, here, Mercury is so cute. What are you doing to me? Okay. So be patient. Now, this full moon in Pisces, which is just such a deep full moon, it's in your relationship house. And so, wow, it is time to let go of any negative relationship patterns, anything that keeps you from the best possible partnerships, whether they're sexual partnerships, spouse, lovers, or just business associates and people that you collaborate with. You've got to let go of some of these old patterns, right? It's time to let go of the self-defeating behaviors. It's time to let go of any tendency to martyr yourself for those relationships. And it's time to let go of anything that's not an even, fair collaboration, equal amount of work, an equal amount of time, something that's really important to you. With Pisces in that relationship house, there's a tendency to merge into your partners, right? And sometimes that can be a sacrificial element. So this Pisces full moon is a great time to, nope, not anymore, not sacrificing, meeting somebody as an equal, finding an equal partner, whether it's a lover or a business associate. Have a great week. Namaste, Libra. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. Now, Libra, this week, your star, Venus, she changes signs and she moves into the sign of Virgo. And that can be a little bit of a difficult energy. It's not her best look, all right? She can be a little too critical, a little too harsh, a little too my way or the highway in Virgo, right? So back up those tendencies, try to smooth things through. Use that Virgo vision, though, in that Venus to really examine where it is that you need to adapt or change your money, your values, how you spend your time and energy, those beautiful Venusian-ruled areas of life. All right. Now, as we move on later in the week, around Thursday, Mercury is going to retrograde, and it's in your sign, right? It's in the very early degrees of Libra, and so kind of watch that. It could really make some communication jam ups, especially if you're trying to have talks with your lovers, your spouse, your business partner, right? And you've got this Venus in Virgo wanting it to be a certain way, and then Mercury gets jammed up in your sign, right? So just be a little more careful, cautious, slow it down. It will go all the way back into Virgo as it continues to retrograde through the rest of this month and into next. So just caution flag up on communications of all kinds during this time. Now, this full moon is in your 6th house of daily life. So it is a fab full moon for you to kind of reset. It's September is kind of back to school, right? And whether you have people in school or whether you're in school, it doesn't matter. It's definitely that vibe of like, okay, I want to schedule again. I want to stock some goals. I want to create a plan. But this is the full moon for you to really let go of any energy drains in your daily life. Anything that you do on the daily that is not in the best interests of your own health and well-being. This is the full moon to cut the cord on those things, let go of those habit patterns, and begin anew to reestablish more healthful, more long-term beneficial types of daily routines. There's a quote, and I can't remember who it's from, but it says, "How you live your days is how you live your life." And so it's up to you on this full moon to renew by letting go of things that are not in alignment with how you want to live your life. Namaste, my Scorpio friends. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. Now, as you know, the South Node has been traversing through your sign, which means that Uranus and the North Node are across the sky from you, really pulling on you, trying to really make you balance this axis of your chart, right? And South Node going through Scorpio just means that you have to choose those higher vibrational, the best possible, beautiful aspects of being the Scorpio. Now, the ancient symbol for Scorpio was an eagle. And I often think of the juxtaposition of you can be the eagle and have this incredible perspective by being above it all and getting the big picture, or you can be the scorpion and you can be going behind the scenes and figuring things out from that angle, right? But I would really encourage the big picture view of things, right? It's one of your superpowers to be able to really analyze and understand what matters and what's important, and to let go of fear and move towards those things, right? So, you want to really pay attention to this nice full moon in Pisces, though, too. It's in a water sign, just like you, right? And it's in your 5th house of fun, of pleasure, of joy, of creations and creating. This is a fantastic full moon to let go of projects that you're kind of like, I started this, or I used to enjoy that, and I bless and acknowledge that, and I'm done with it. It's over. It's finished. It's complete, right? So allow things to come to completion. Allow yourself to let go of anything that you might have used to think it was fun to have a certain hobby or hang out with a certain group of people, or maybe you would take a risk on this or that, right? And now it's time to stop those things. It's time to end those things. The cycle is over. This is a perfect full moon for you to acknowledge, bless, and let go of whatever 5th house activities just aren't working for your life anymore. Namaste, my beautiful Capricorn friends. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September the 4th. So this is an interesting week. The moon is in Capricorn, the 5th and the 6th. So you really want to pay attention to that whenever the moon is in your sign, right? Big feels, lots of energy. More emotions than you might be used to feeling. And this moon is also, of course, going to touch Pluto, right? You've been getting your PhD in Pluto since 2008, right? So you may be feeling just some of those really broad, long-term lessons come up again this week. So pay attention to that. It's also really important to pay attention to what's going on that day of the 6th, because that moon is also going to send some really lovely energy to Uranus and to Neptune. And then on the full moon, which is on Saturday, the full moon in Pisces, those same similar outer planet aspects are going to occur, right? The planet's going to come together with, the moon's going to come together with Neptune and send some nice beams to Uranus and to Pluto. And so you might really notice on Tuesday that you get some ideas about what it is that you need to ritualize for your full moon on Saturday. Now, this full moon is in the 3rd house of communication, the mind, how you express yourself. So it's time to let go of some old, outworn form of communication, old outworn ideas, thought forms. It's an excellent moon for you to, decide that you need to release, some kind of issue you might have with a neighbor or something you've had going on with siblings. Maybe in the past you've had some type of communication block or difficulty expressing yourself. Maybe you want to renew your commitment to being honest and clear in your speech and expression. This is the full moon for you to bless, acknowledge, and release those negative patterns so that you have space to create a new way of expressing yourself. Important moon, I would think, for you to write down anything that you would want and maybe safely burn that, because it's in the third house of mind and expression. And then really watch your mind. Watch your mind. Your mind is going to be very active this week, right? But your emotions are going to be activated too. So slow it down. Use that good, that good Saturn, right? Saturn, your buddy Saturn, your friend, the wisdom of that slow moving planet. Let it slow things down for you so you can really see what needs to be released so that you can move forward. Namaste, my Aquarian friends. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. Now, both Saturn and Uranus are pretty active this week, and I think that's important for you to acknowledge, because Saturn's your ancient ruler, Aquarius is your modern ruler, and Saturn is in your sign, right? And so then we have the Uranus over there with the North Node in Taurus, very active. The outer planets are very active this week. So it's kind of a big karmic turn of the wheel. Now, some of this is some real blessings with the moon. And the moon is going to be in your sign for a good part of this week. So intuition might really be on point. And I want you to pay a little bit more attention to that. Sometimes I know you're a little bit more analytical. You're an air sign, right? But tune in, tap into that intuition for sure, especially on the 7th and the 8th. Okay, I'm really feeling with the moon in your sign that you're going to have that amplified intuition. Now, the full moon in Pisces lands in your second house of money and what's important to you, what you value, and your own self-worth. And so this is a full moon to bless, acknowledge, and let go of anything that blocks your light, anything you devote your resources to that is something you don't want to feed, right? Think of every dollar you spend and every minute you spend as an endorsement of whatever it is you're spending it on, right? Whether it's, things for your home or your clothes, or you make a donation, you spend time at work, you spend time listening to a friend. These are all ways that you really understand, wow, this is what I value. This is what I spend my time and energy on. But you may wish during the beginning of this week, particularly on Tuesday, with all those aspects to the outer planets, you may wish to kind of look at all that and be like, wow, what do I need to cut out? What do I need to edit? Maybe I don't need, maybe I don't feel that great about some big corporation that I seem to be spending a lot of money with, and I'm going to cut that out. Maybe I'm, spending a lot of time on this particular thing that really isn't serving me anymore. And it's time to bless, acknowledge, and let that go. So this is a marvelous full moon for that. Keep in mind also that with second house energy, it's about how you value yourself and making sure that you let go of anything that diminishes your self-worth, anything that you do that diminishes your self-worth during this powerful full moon. Again, namaste, my Pisces friends. Welcome to your forecast for the week of September 4th. This is an active week at the very beginning for you in particular, because we have the moon. It's in Sagittarius, but it's going to square to Neptune, which Neptune is your planet. And then the next day, it's going to square to Jupiter, which is your ancient ruler. So the potential for excess, the potential for wanting to block things out, the potential to want to numb out is going to be pretty big. Okay, so dial it back at the beginning of the week. Make sure that you are moderating any of your negative habits. We all have them, right? Not just you. But moderate any of those negative habits with those squares, right? Moon and Sagittarius, let's go! Squaring Neptune and Pisces, right? Let's go where? Jupiter and Aries, right? This is big energy, all right? So slow it down a little bit, moderate any excesses that you may tend to indulge in at the beginning of the week. Now, we've got a full moon in your sign on Saturday. And this is a really lovely full moon. Pay attention to Tuesday. Tuesday, we've got the moon in Capricorn. Double checking. Yes, moon in Capricorn. It's going to aspect the outer planets, right? It's beaming up to Uranus and Taurus. It's beaming over to Neptune and Pisces. It's beaming to Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. And so these are 3 areas of life that are really looking to be harmonized this week. And they may come together in some unique way with this full moon on Saturday. This full moon aspects the outer planets as well in a beneficial way. And so there's a lot of oomph behind this full moon. In your sign as a Pisces rising, it's going to be in your first house of your body and your outlook and how you see the world, right? And so this is a culmination. It may be the end of the way you perceive yourself. It could be the end of the way you look at the world in a general sense. There may be some things this week that kind of shake your foundations and make you realize that there need to be some conscious endings, some conscious completions, the wrapping up of a lesson or an era even that you need to really bring to consciousness, be grateful for, and let go.
Welcome to the exciting rebirth of Superstar, featuring choose your membership rate as low as just $3 a month. At Superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, class passes for Synchronicity University, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the Superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there.